Glad you could join us for 7:30 News Bulletin. My name is Fales Chizombe. The top stories.
Pope Leo XIV urges renewed mission and hope during meeting with pastoral workers in Istanbul. Analysts say CDF debate exposes selfish political interests. Legislators decry wasteful spending as debate on media budget review continues. In our exclusive report this week, Patrick Pupa explores rising tension as Mighty Wanderers FC and FC Binyasa Big Bullets push towards the 2025 TNM Super League title.
We have more stories coming up. Do stay with us. Pope Leo XIV began the second day of his apostolic journey to Turkey with an address to bishops, clergy, consecrated persons, and pastoral workers gathered at the Cathedral of the Holy Spirit in Istanbul. Opening his remarks, the Pope reflected on the deep Christian history rooted in this land where Abraham set out in faith, where the followers of Jesus were first called Christians, and where the early fathers helped shape the foundations of Christian doctrine. Charity Shlanga reading a Vatican News report.
Pope Leo XIV said the rich heritage should not be treated merely as a memory, but as a source of fresh inspiration, urging the Church in Turkey to draw renewed strength and vision from these historical roots. The Pope stressed that the faith handed down through generations continues to call believers to active commitment today. Highlighting what he termed the way of littleness, Pope Leo reminded the local church that its mission does not depend on size or influence. Citing Jesus' assurance that it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, he encouraged even small communities to look ahead with confidence rather than discouragement. The Pope noted signs of new life already visible within the Church in Turkey, including the steady number of young people seeking answers about faith. He encouraged the pastoral workers to continue offering joyful and patient witness, saying perseverance remains essential in a context where Christians are few but hopeful. Pope Leo outlined the key areas requiring special attention: strengthening ecumenical and interreligious dialogue, passing on the faith within the local population, and offering pastoral care to refugees and migrants. Recognizing that many pastoral workers come from other countries, he emphasized the need for greater incarceration so that the gospel message resonates more deeply with Turkish culture and language. Marking the 1700th anniversary of the First Council of Nicaea, the Pope pointed to three enduring challenges for the Church: understanding the essence of the faith as articulated in the Creed, resisting what he called a new Arianism that views Jesus merely as a historical figure, and embracing the organic development of doctrine rooted in unchanging truth while adapting to new context. Concluding his address, Pope Leo XIV recorded the example of Pope St. John XXIII, who served in Turkey with affection and steadfast commitment. He encouraged today's pastoral workers to carry forward that same spirit of dedication, keeping alive the joy of faith and serving with courage in the midst of contemporary challenges.
Tiwale Limodzi Foundation in the Archdiocese of Lilongwe has distributed maize to communities at Nambuma Parish in Ndoa District as part of efforts to ease the hunger that has hit several districts across Malawi. Chief Executive Officer of the Foundation, Brian Onyambo, said the organization is aware of the widespread hunger affecting many Malawians and felt compelled to support vulnerable households around Nambuma Parish. Emmanuel Chocha reports.
Speaking to Luntha Television, Odhiambo explained that the foundation aims not only to provide relief maize, but also to empower citizens to become self-reliant within their communities.
Continue to get additional funding support. We'll continue to reach out to the various other families who had been identified as affected by this situation. So, as the Wale Limozi Foundation as well, what we are looking into is integral development.
Parish priest for Nambuma, Father Maxwell Kubalasa, commended Archbishop Jotambala for acting swiftly through the Tiwari Remote Foundation after receiving reports that over 2,000 people in the area have been affected by hunger.
There are so more people who have been affected by hunger. So, for me, I would say, if there are those people who can do something to help Nambuma, let them do so. People are suffering here. I have people who come every day just for peace work. Every day they come for peace work. Whatever they get, they buy food and feed their families. So I'm calling to all people, Christians or non-Christians.
One of the beneficiaries, Lanjani Jimwaza, expressed gratitude after receiving a bag of maize, saying the donation has restored food security in his home. He further appealed to the foundation to extend similar assistance to other districts facing hunger. The Tiwari Remote Foundation says it remains committed to supporting hunger-stricken communities and will continue exploring long-term solutions aimed at empowering households to sustain themselves beyond emergency relief. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Emmanuel Juocha.
Political analyst Dr. George Shaima has warned that the ongoing debate in Parliament over the Constituency Development Fund is driven by selfish motives rather than national interest. Shaima argues that ever since the dawn of mud-party democracy, members of Parliament have controlled the fund yet failed to produce tangible development in their constituencies. He notes that although MPs insist they do not handle cash or sign checks, their authority and influence over the facility have contributed to years of mismanagement. Judy Fogan has more in this report.
Shaima says both MPs and district commissioners share blame, pointing to a history of mishandled projects and court cases where lawmakers were arrested and convicted over CDF abuse. He questioned why convictions existed if MPs truly had no role in managing the facility, stressing that such outcomes reveal how politically influenced the fund has been. He further argued that councillors are better placed to manage CDF because they live with the people and understand community needs, unlike MPs who relocate to urban areas after elections. Shaima believes resistance from MPs reflects an attempt to retain personal benefits rather than prioritizing development for ordinary Malawians.
And they suffer together with the people. While members of parliament, once they are voted into power, if they were in the village, they live and dwell in town, in urban areas. And this is why they still want to rape this truth of managing the facility of CDF. I think this is a lack of love for the country. They say they want to be authorizing what kind of projects should be done in the areas. We can still have projects without authorization of a member of parliament as long as the people themselves decide what they want under the headship or leadership of the councillor, but not under the leadership of the abusers of the public facility.
The analyst has concluded that transferring CDF control to councillors is a necessary step toward restoring accountability and ensuring development reflects the will of communities. He has since warned that continued political interference will only perpetuate misuse of a fund meant to uplift Malawians. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Judith Ogan.
Parliament resumed deliberations on Friday, with legislators continuing to scrutinize the 2025-2026 media budget review, prompting strong reactions over public spending, debt levels and food security. Among them was Palombe South Member of Parliament Tiaone Henry, who criticized the financial plan presented last week by Minister of Finance Joseph Mwanamveka, saying it exposes worrying instances of misuse of public funds. Tondwen Zumara has filed this report.
Henry said several government departments were engaging in unnecessary expenditure, warning that the country's rising debt levels have pushed the administration into making tough but necessary decisions, which she described as the beginning of a long-term cure for the economy. In his maiden contribution to the House, Kasungu South East Member of Parliament Gordon Msilimba argued that the current pattern of maize availability demonstrates that hunger in Malawi is man-made. Msilimba noted that maize prices have dropped significantly since the new government took office from 75,000 Malawi kwacha to 50,000 Malawi kwacha, but cautioned that more must be done to ensure smallholder farmers access essential farm inputs on time.
I did check with the fertilizer revolving of Malawi, and the challenge at the moment is that they had not recruited enough personnel to manage the markets. I think that they would have done in June, July, August. So most of the markets have not started because they don't have the personnel. And when I checked with the regional manager, half of the markets in the central region have not received the first consignment of fertilizer. And in that way, we are creating another hunger. So next year, we'll also be importing maize from other countries because of these inefficiencies.
Adding to the debate, Blantyre Central Registrator Gerald Dasogadala said the media budget review introduces key structural reforms aimed at restoring fiscal discipline. He said government has prioritized the welfare of Malawians by boosting allocations to social protection programs, including free secondary education, increased funding for medicines, and enhanced support for communities affected by natural disasters. Meanwhile, Deputy Leader of the House in Parliament, Shadrack Namalomba, has described this week's parliamentary meeting as productive, with members actively contributing pressing issues for discussion. Namalomba also acknowledged challenges raised regarding network provision, water transport, assuring that the government will address the concerns.
But other than that, we can say it has been a busy week, full of debates. I must also say this, that even the quality of debates coming from both sides of the House, from opposition as well as from government, opposition and independent members, it has been of high standard. You look at how members are debating, they are researching, and that is good. They are presenting facts, very enlightening. And from the government side, what we can say is to encourage them to continue to research and to continue to bring insightful debates in the House.
Last Friday, Finance Minister Joseph Mwanamveka announced that the 2025-2026 national budget had been revised upwards by 512.6 billion Malawi kwacha, bringing the total from 8.07 trillion kwacha to 8.58 trillion Malawi kwacha. For Luntha News, this is Tandiwe Mzumara.
You are still watching news on Luntha Television with me, Fales Jizombe. Another look at our top stories before we proceed.
Pope Leo XIV urges renewed mission and hope during meeting with pastoral workers in Istanbul. Analysts say CDF debate exposes selfish political interests. Legislators decry wasteful spending as debate on media budget review continues. In our exclusive report this week, Patrick Pupa explores rising tension as Mighty Wanderers FC and FC Binyasa Big Bullets push towards the 2025 TNM Super League title.
Moving on with the news, Member of Parliament for Likoma Island, Charles Chilambula, has urged the government to replace the urging MV Ilala and complete the restored Likoma JT project, citing safety risks and increasing transport demand for the islands. Minister of Transport Dr. Feston Kauba said the MV Ilala is over 70 years old and risky, and the government is negotiating with investors to fund its replacement. He added that work on the Likoma JT will resume once the contractor receives outstanding payments. Gift Kalonga has filed this report.
The people of Likoma and Kizumulu Islands rely heavily on the MV Ilala for transport to the mainland. With the vessel aging over 70 years, they face serious challenges including overcrowding, limited safety measures, and unreliable communication affecting both daily travel and the movement of goods. Member of Parliament for Likoma Island, Charles Chilambula, expressed deep concern over the deteriorating condition of the MV Ilala. He said the ship is too old, lacks proper radio communication, and cannot meet the growing demand from the island's population and businesses trading with Tanzania and Mozambique. Chilambula warned that continued delays in replacing the vessel and completing the jetty could be seen as government negligence, putting residents' lives in danger. Chilambula also raised concern about the stalled Likoma Jetty project, noting that an accident in April claimed 11 lives and highlighting the urgent need for infrastructure that supports safe travel and timely rescue operations.
There are so many issues to do with the Ilala. It's too aged and there's so much congestion because the population which is there now and the demands which are there. More people are doing business, and we are at a triangle where we do business with Tanzania and Mozambique. So people can get goods from Malawi, transporting them to Mozambique, transporting them to Tanzania. The Ilala is not enough. So we need another vessel which can be of good capacity, or else it can be, the frequency can be more.
In response, Minister of Transport and Public Works, Dr. Feston Kauba, acknowledged the severity of the situation. He admitted that the MV Ilala poses huge risks to lives and property and said the government is actively engaging potential investors to fund a replacement vessel. He emphasized that procurement and construction of the new ship is a complex process requiring proper specifications and planning. On the Likoma jetty, Dr. Kaupa explained that about 90% of work was completed by the contractor, Motor Angel, but process stalled due to unpaid balances. He assured that discussions are ongoing and the contractor is ready to resume work once part of the outstanding payments are made.
Very aged, very old, and it poses a very huge risk to people's life as well as property. And it is a serious consideration that my ministry is looking at, so that we impress upon Ministry of Finance to allocate resources that can see us to start building up this the replacement of MV Ilala.
Dr. Kaupa reassured that all projects, regardless of which government initiated them, will be resuscitated and continued reflecting the government's commitment to development. However, he noted that the pace of implementation would depend on resource availability and prioritization of projects. For Luntha News, this is Gift Kalonga.
In sports, the Netball Association of Malawi, through its organizing committee, has released the full fixture for the 2025 Africa Netball Cup. Speaking during the unveiling ceremony, local organizing committee chairperson Limban Matola said preparations are at an advanced stage and Malawi is fully ready to host the prestigious tournament. The competition is set to take place from 8th to 14th December 2025 at the Glyph and Sainda Sports Complex in Lilongwe. Malawi will open the tournament with a crush against Botswana. So far, 80 countries, South Africa, Botswana, Tanzania, Uganda, Zimbabwe, Namibia and Kenya, have confirmed their participation in this year's competition. Patrick Pupa speaks with Matola.
We have 8 countries that are coming in. So 8 countries for males and 8 countries for ladies. We'll have in total 18 matches for males and 18 matches for ladies. That is 36 matches altogether. All these matches will be played here at Griffin Saenda Sports Complex. So as a local organizing committee, we are very ready to receive these countries and to ensure that we give all the fans that will come, all our international guests, the players, dignitaries and officials, the best experience ever in as far as hosting the African Netball Cup competition is concerned.
The 2025 TNM Super League season has reached a decisive stage as long-time rivals Mighty Wanderers FC and FCB Nyasa Big Bullets intensify their battle for the championship. With both teams showing consistent form and unwavering determination, this year's title race has become one of the most fiercely contested in recent memory. However, the excitement on the pitch has been overshadowed by growing concerns over officiating standards and overall league management. In this week's exclusive report, Patrick Pupa explores rising tensions as Mighty Wanderers FC and FCB Nyasa Big Bullets push towards the 2025 TNM Super League title.
A wave of mixed reaction has emerged from supporters, analysts and club officials who urge that poor officiating is undermining the integrity of the competition. The National Referees Association is under pressure, with critics pointing to inconsistent and questionable decisions, particularly in high-stakes fixtures involving Mighty Wanderers FC and FCB Nyasa Big Bullets. Sports analyst Pari Chinyama has called on match officials to demonstrate fairness, courage and transparency when handling games involving the two title contenders, warning that the credibility of the league is at stake.
They can make mistakes, but the obvious ones should be avoided. We saw a few games the last weekend that has happened, which has costed quite a number of decisions and costed the games to. It changes the complexion of the game if the decisions are not done good. So my belief is that officiation should never be biased. Should actually see that the remaining games they do it professionally and they also do it in not favoring any other team, so that the league ends up well and we wouldn't have any.
Super League of Malawi Sulum has also come under scrutiny. Stakeholders have faulted the body for what they describe as unprofessional conduct, including releasing fixtures in a fragmented and disorganized manner that some clubs say disrupts planning and preparation. Aaron Kandiwa Mtaya, General Secretary of Clegg Sporting Club, urges that the Super League of Malawi must enhance its administrative efficiency if the league is to uphold fairness and professionalism throughout the 2025 season.
A long time, and we have been complaining, we have been raising this matter each and every GM. It's a matter of discussion, and these issues are only a promise to be addressed. But when now we get into the real business, there is no change, and I think it's a very big concern from a lot of teams, and it's not only just Clegg Sporting Club. Listen, we'll give you an example of the game which was there yesterday. Blades versus the KB. There were issues. We'll give you an example of the games that have been played before. A lot of issues. We were scheduled to play against Moyale next week, Thursday. But that has been changed. Instead, Moyale has been given a Ekaya to play in Mzuzu the same day for no apparent reason. So that's not how we get to manage elite league. This is a very big issue, and it's supposed to be looked into with the seriousness.
PLFM sports reporter Lusayo Kanyika added that although the season has delivered exceptional talents and thrilling encounters, the off-pitch controversies risk overshadowing the high level of play displayed on the field.
Wrongly, called out an offside for Clement Nyondo's goal in that crucial title decider against Silver Strikers. So we have seen these incidents: Mafco versus Bullets, Silver versus Bullets, Silver versus Wanderers, and Bullets versus Ekaya. These are selected incidents, but we have seen a lot of incidents being reported to the Super League of Malawi that the officials, the match officials, were not on top of their game. So it is upon the Super League of Malawi to review the quality of officiating to make sure that as the title race draws closer to a conclusion, we should see some action being taken, and the right team, the best team, should win the league this season.
Meanwhile, former referees manager Duncan Lingani has appealed to fans to respect the rules of the game and maintain discipline in stadiums, noting that the mounting tension should not escalate into violence or misconduct.
So respect the decisions made by the referees. Our referees are also top-notch referees because once they go out there, they officiate the games at a higher level with respect. But once they are here in Malawi, they are taken as if they don't know laws of the game, which is a challenge to us as Malawians. I therefore request all Malawians to respect our referees so that we can install discipline and confidence in our referee if we are to transform the game. But because of the gap which is there between the team officials and the referees in terms of the knowledgeability of the laws of the game, this is what is bringing the game into disrepute in most of the times. However, we are looking at the authorities, those who are running the showcase, so that they can assist the members of the public and also team officials.
As the season approaches its climax, all eyes are fixed on Mighty Wanderers FC and FCB Nyasa Big Bullets, yet the broader debate highlights an urgent need for improved officiating, stronger league management, and reinforced integrity system. Currently, FCB Nyasa Big Bullets lead the table with 56 points, closely followed by Mighty Wanderers FC with 55 points and a game in hand. According to Super League of Malawi, the 2025 TNM Super League season will conclude in December. For Luntha News, this is Patrick Pupa.
That item concludes our today's news bulletin. Another look at our top stories before we go.
Pope Leo XIV urges renewed mission and hope during meeting with pastoral workers in Istanbul. Analysts say CDF debate exposes selfish political interests. Legislators decry wasteful spending as debate on media budget review continues. In our exclusive report this week, Patrick Pupa explores rising tension as Mighty Wanderers FC and FCB Nyasa Big Bullets push towards the 2025 TNM Super League title.
I have been Fales Chizombe. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to tune in for the list of our programs here on Luntha Television. Have a lovely weekend.